It is October of 2024, and you know what that means. That means that we have to do our business and financial plan for 2025. If you are a franchisee or a business owner, this is the time in which you need to work on your business for a few days and really focus on defining what are the things, what are the actions, what are the goals, the objectives that you want to achieve next year. Here at the American Franchise Academy, we do that with our clients. We go on a fun and financial retreat where we actually walk them through 3 days of focusing on doing that business and financial plan for next year. And so what I want to share with you today is what are the 4 elements that you need to include when you're doing your financial and business planning for next year. So first of all, you need to do a people plan. And the people plan is where you're going to know, based on your turnover in any new stores that you're opening or acquiring next year, how many people you need to hire in 2024. Your people are an essential and crucial element for your success. And you know that. And you know the chaos that happens when you don't have the proper staffing or the leadership bench that you need to lead your stores, especially when you are in a growth mode. And so it is important that you sit down and really look at your people plan, look at your turnover based on your history, and then determine right away ahead of time what is your people needs by month, every month for next year. And then based on that, do a recruiting budget, because it does take a certain amount of money to hire the people. One of the big mistakes that franchisees do is that the recruiting budget really is just embedded with marketing. And if you really truly separate it, you would understand the amount of investment that you have to be able to hire the people that you need. So if you have experience in 2023 and 2024 or before staffing issues, is because you have not properly planned for that. So that will be the first element of your business plan for next year. The next business plan area that you need to cover as you're working on this is your sales projections. And that is to be able to understand where you have been this year. What are the trends that you are experiencing right now? There are things that are happening in the United States and the world that you need to pay attention to and consider, okay, based on where I am, the trending that is happening and where we're going to be, where do I think my revenue, my sales are going to land? And all of these, by the way, needs to be done for every unit that you have. So if you're a multi-unit franchisee, you need to look at each individual unit separately. And so in your sales plan, you will know, okay, based on this, where I am, here's where I want to be next year. Now, we're not going to just hope and wish that we're there next year. If you are putting a plan that is more than zero up over last year, the question to you is going to be, what are you going to do to change, to what is going to change for you to achieve those goals? And so part of your sales growth planning is what is going to be my marketing budget and my marketing activities that I know have worked in the past to be able to achieve these aggressive goals. And that's what you need to think through when you're doing your sales planning. So that brings me to the third element that you have to cover when you're doing your business and financial plan for next year. And that is the financial plan. Like literally, you're going to sit down and do a full P&L by unit for every single month of the year. And in there, you're going to be extrapolating from what happened this year into what you think and project is going to happen next year. Now, as you look at each of these units and you look at each of the months, you're going to have to analyze your P&Ls for this year. Where did I land? What were the things? What were the costs or expenses that came up that are shown in the P&L that you may or may not have next year? What are the seasonality? What should I expect in this quarter or that quarter or the other quarter? And adjust your numbers, and they need to be as realistic as possible. This is not, again, wishful thinking. Your business plan is what you are committed to do next year. And this is the work that you need to do by unit. And ideally, you want to be able to consolidate all that into an enterprise number. Once you have all those numbers based on what you think is going to happen, then you need to look at your overall number for your business. What I call the bottom right corner of the financial statement, consolidated. Because that's going to tell you the amount of money that you should have in the bank at the end of the year. And then the question to you will be, are you happy with that number? And if you're happy with the number, then you're good to go. And if you're not happy with that number and you want to go back and revise anything, whether it's sales or cost of any kind, you need to, if you're going to revise anything, you need to have a plan as to how you're going to make that change. If you did not have those sales last year, what are you going to do to make these sales this year? If you didn't have those expenses in labor, if your labor was higher, this year, what are you going to do to make it lower for next year? Otherwise, just putting it in the plan, a magical number that you hope that happens, is not going to cause your profit that you want. And so that is part of the process. If you're going to, first you just put what happened this year. You may adjust for anything that was, off or a one-time thing, and then you have your plan. And if you're not happy and you want to change something, when you do that, you need to make a decision as to what you're going to do differently to actually cause that. Otherwise, it's not a plan, it's a wish. And the fourth element and final element of your business and financial plan for 2025 should be your capital needs and your growth. Or should I say the other way around? The growth that you're going to have and the capital needs that follow that growth. And so you really need to understand when you believe these units are going to open, or if you're planning acquisitions, when other used units are going to happen, and put that in that plan so that you're clear on what capital you're going to need and when you're going to need it. Because let's say that you're going to open a unit in June, the capital needs don't happen in June. The capital needs start happening probably this December or January, right? And so between franchise fees and lease deposits and leasehold improvements, all of that capital, you need to have a plan for that month by month for each unit that you're planning to either open or acquire. So those are the things that you need to have in your growth and capital needs plan. And ideally, it will be in one document that you can easily refer to. And when you go to talk to your sources of capital, you will have the plan. You will be able to explain exactly how much you need, when you need it, why you need it. And the ability to access that capital will be much easier because you have your capital needs plan as well as your financial plan and your people plan and your sales plan. All of this becomes your map of how you're going to accomplish your goals in 2025. Having this information means that you now know where you need to go. But having that plan is not enough. Once January hits, your job as a franchisee and business owner is to compare what actually happened with the plan. And if something is off, now you need to act. What are you going to do now if your labor cost is higher than you planned for? Because we didn't look at it the way we're supposed to look at it on every day and every week, then what are we going to do differently to adjust so that we can make up for that loss in future months? And what are we going to make sure that that plan actually happens, the next month and the next month and the next month? Having a plan, it gives you, like I said, your war guide. This is what you're going to do. And having that plan allows you to see how off you are. But a crucial point is that you need to look at it every day and every week to make sure that you are on track on that month to achieve your goals. Otherwise, you're going to find a surprise at the end of the month when you compare it to your actual P&Ls and the plan, and then you're going to have a lot more work to do the next months. And so that is the goal. The goal is to have your business and financial plan for next year so that as you are actually operating your business, you will know whether you are on par to accomplish that and get that bottom right number, that take-home money that you deserve because of the investment that you made and the work that you've done. So let's make sure that you get that you get the return on investment and the return of your work by making a plan for next year and then working every day and every week and every month next year to accomplish that. So it's October, it should be done before Thanksgiving, and then come January, you will come back and revise and do the final touches so that by the second week of January, you're good to go. I hope that was helpful, that you are going to get in action and get your business financial plan for next year, and let me know how it goes. All right, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.